The Democratic Alliance says docking EFF Deputy President Floyd Shivambu's salary by 9 days is a very light sanction.
The reaction from the party comes after Shivambu was found to have breached the ethics code for members of parliament after failing to declare money he received from his brother, who was linked to the VBS Mutual Bank scandal. Juniour Khumalo reports.
Parliament's Joint Committee on Ethics and Members' Interests found that EFF Deputy Leader Floyd Shivambu failed to disclose 180,000 rands received from the now-defunct VBS Mutual Bank in 2017. Opposition parties and civil society organizations are, as a result, now hoping investigations by law enforcement authorities that seem to have stalled could be revived.
That they can be invigorated by saying, well, clearly, if the liquidators can provide us with information that says, yes, money was sent from these companies to individuals, surely then that is something that is important in that investigation to arrive at an outcome and essentially see that the matter is brought to court.
An anti-corruption organization has expressed concerns over what it has described as the narrow scope covered by the Ethics Committee. This is in light of the grand-scale looting brought to light by the South African Reserve Bank Forensic Investigation Report into VBS.
Well, I think I'm sad to say that from my standpoint, it means very little in terms of what people may expect in terms of real accountability for the VBS looting. We're talking about hundreds of millions of rands that were looted by different individuals, irregular payments for no reason that could be justified.
Chairperson Begizwe Nkosi said plans were already afoot to redraft the Ethics Committee's Code of Conduct.
We didn't find any other amount undeclared for the following reasons. When we did our investigations and our research on this issue, we had to go via the FIC to allow them to provide us with financial intelligence, which would have allowed us to check if there is any other amount. But the FIC indicated that Parliament is not a reporting structure in terms of Section 40, and therefore they are not in a position to share their intelligence.
In a bid to try and nudge forward the process of holding those accused in the VBS looting, the DA would be reporting 3 payments received by Shivambu to the receiver of revenue and also push law enforcement authorities to give an update on investigations into the matter.
Ultimately, what we need to remember is that the VBS, heist, as we call it, wasn't a victimless crime. That there were thousands of depositors, many of them who were vulnerable elderly, who deposited their money in good faith, which now has essentially disappeared. And so all of these things become cold comfort to those people unless people are jailed and unless people are held to account.
As we continue with the investigation, we are not at liberty, or it's not within our policy to mention the persons of interest of people that we are still investigating until he is arrested, those people.
Corruption Watch cautions that South Africans may use their votes next year to demonstrate their dissatisfaction.
But I think ultimately, these matters do then come back to the voters in terms of next year's elections, in terms of, can we believe it when parties come to us and say that they fight on behalf of anti-corruption?
Following the surfacing of the alleged involvement of its leaders in the VBS scandal leading up to the 2021 local government elections, the EFF lost 25 council seats in Limpopo, a province in which the party had dominated during its formative years. The party has announced that it will take the Ethics Committee findings on judicial review. VBS liquidator Anosh Rampal wasn't readily available for comment. For Newzroom Afrika on channel 405, I'm Juniour Khumalo in Johannesburg.